Hello and welcome to another build guide. So before we start the build guide, I want to mention something that's going on these days. So maybe you already saw a lot of people are starting to play Burning Arrow these days, starting guides, shooting guides, whatever. So actually this is not a new build, so there is nothing like this is my build, you stole it, whatever, because I heard it from someone else. So I'm pretty sure that some of you idiots are also gonna come down below to the comment section. You stole this from blah blah blah. No, no one stole this. This is not new. I actually played this character 2 months ago, and I have also clips ready from 2 weeks earlier, I believe. I will also put a picture on the screen, maybe if you want to believe or not, whatever. I don't care. So this is no one's build. This is not new. The leaderboard, red leaderboard, I couldn't speak, was full of this. This is not new. I actually avoided doing this guide because I knew it would be 100% gonna get nerfed. But for some reason, Granny Gear Games just forgot Elementalist. So Discharge, Burning Arrow, Flame Wall, those kind of builds are still very good, and you should probably play and abuse those in Ultimatum League. So yeah, if I could make things clear, let's just start with the build now, right now. So, can you do this as a league starter? Yes, some people think that you cannot. No, you can actually. I played this a lot of times with my friends. I actually have a friend that plays Burning Arrow every league. So I'm gonna also mention what to do at league start, alright? So maybe let's just start with that, after that the items and the usual stuff. So first of all, at the league start, obviously you need some bow, and also you need to be Elementalist, otherwise you cannot start this build. That's why you need to start with a skill like Magma Orb, maybe Fireball if you like it, but I don't actually like Fireball. So probably a Magma Orb or maybe Freezing Pulse, just take something, alright? Just start playing. Once you get Flame Wall, that's actually very powerful. Maybe the clear is a little shit, but it doesn't matter. You just have to survive, alright, until level 33 or whatever, so you can do your Labyrinth. So once you do that Labyrinth, Flame Wall is actually very good, by the way. You need to get Shaper of Flames, Elementalist passive, alright? After that you can start playing Burning Arrow. But if you are comfortable with Flame Wall or whatever, just keep playing, or just pick another fire skill, because the talent tree will be the same. Maybe something like Flame Blast if you like it, because it doesn't really matter while leveling. Just pick whatever you want, maybe spend a couple of extra hours while leveling, it doesn't matter. Maybe Armageddon Brand, I'm not sure. Alright, just pick something. But after you get Shaper of Flame, you can just start playing Burning Arrow. Here is how: you just get a Storm Cloud bow. It is like 1 chaos, maybe. Even at league start, it should be something like that. Just take that. It has a very good attack speed, so you can just stack your Burning Arrows easily. And you need to use added lightning damage support. So you will just scale lightning damage, and that's it. You can actually just delete stuff. It is very easy to level. If you think it is not good, just try it maybe in standard league before. But that is actually how we level this character in ritual league. But if you are not comfortable with that, maybe just go and play until maps, maybe until day 2 or 3. So you can get Zof's Nurture Bow, because that's the best in slot bow for Burning Arrow. So that's when you can also get to playing this build. Flame Wall is also very good. I also have a guide on Flame Wall Kinetic Blast that I made maybe over 2 months ago. I will also gonna update that. You can just start playing with that, and after that just start playing as Burning Arrow. Alright, so that is how the leveling is. There's gonna also be leveling trees, obviously. So let's start with the items as usual. So this is the usual stuff now. So Zof's Nurture, your best in slot bow. This drops from Zof's Breach. That's why you need to go to end game, start maps. And some people need to, collect some splinters, so you can buy this from someone else or whatever. So you will probably buy this at day 2, maybe day 3. That's why you need to maybe play with Stormcloud or Tempest Ball, whatever. And just, survive the first day or 2. But this is actually very easy to acquire these days. And it is also cheap because it is a common drop. So once you get this, just pick Jeweler's Touch, Prophecy maybe, use that Jeweler Orb, and bam, 5 link. And it is also, there's actually a 6 link, because this ball actually has Ignite Proliferation level 20 in it. So there's gonna be a 6 link ball actually. So you're gonna have insane DPS, and that will carry you through whole game. So once you have the budget, just go for 6 link, and that's your ball. Quiver. So at league start, obviously, just use something with life. Elemental damage with attacks is a very good stat. if you can get something, maybe fire damage to bow attacks, that's also good. Penetrating arrow quiver is your best option because it gives penetrate, so you will have a better clear. So unless you have a hunter base with penetration on it, so you need to have a penetrating arrow quiver base type. So once the influence items are on the market, you just need to buy or craft something with scorched plus pristine fossils. So you need fire damage over time multiplier that's on hunter bases. Plus life, obviously, thanks to pristine fossil. And again, elemental limited attacks, or you can just craft it from bench. It actually has a very high value, like 30, 32, something like that. So yeah, just crafted elemental limited attacks, and that's it. If you are lucky, you will maybe get dexterity or resistance, which is also good, and that's your end game quiver. Helmet. So there are two options: the cheaper one and the easy to acquire. Rare helmet with burning arrow has 24% increased debuff effect. This is the best enchant debuff effect. Burning arrow actually has 4 enchants, I believe. The other ones are obviously weaker. So this is your best option. After that, just use essence. Maybe it is very easy to craft because with the essences. Maybe greed for life, I believe, yeah. And maybe dexterity essence. I don't know the name right now. Just check the essences. It's very easy to find because you will need some dexterity for that bow. At least start, just don't be shy and get some 30 dexterity notes maybe on the tree, or get some dexterity equipment, alright? But you can craft your helmet with dexterity if you want. Life, resist, and that's it. If you have an open prefix, also put physical damage taken as fire damage. Once you have that unveil from June, the Betrayal Master, and then you will have a good helmet. So if you want to cast Wave of Conviction automatically, we are gonna talk about that in the jam section later. But if you want to do some stuff automatically, also maybe some curses, stuff like that. Wave of Conviction actually does that, but also Flame Wall. I'm not actually using Flame Wall right now, but you can do that. So if you want all of those, just play with Asenat Chant Helmet, but this is very expensive at League Start. It is also very hard to find this as enchanted because it is gonna be very expensive. But here's a tip for you, but maybe after this video you cannot do that, I'm not sure. You can actually get Asenat Mark, I believe, the lower version, the version without prophecy, because you know that Asenat Chant is a hated item. You need prophecy to upgrade it. But since enchants aren't getting removed after using prophecies, you can get the normal version Asenat Mark with Burning Arrow enchant. Just camp it, sit at live search, on the trade side. Just buy it from someone else for cheaper because they don't know what's going on. They will just get that helmet from the divination card that gives the labyrinth enchant unique helmet, that card, and they'll just put it for maybe for like 10k 20k because they have no clue. I actually bought like 3 of those at Ritual League and sold them for a couple of exiles later. So just a flipping what's that, clue or whatever, I'm not sure, you get the idea. So you can just do that. Tip, maybe, yeah, the right word is probably flipping tip, something like that. So yeah, you can also do that, but it is gonna be very hard to get an enchanted Asenat Chant later on because people are gonna figure out what's going on. So it is very hard to find that actually, or you need to pay maybe like 10 or 15 exile to an enchanted helmet. That's gonna be very expensive. So just pick whatever helmet you want. A rare helmet will obviously get the job done, and you can also get lots of life, resist, and dexterity, those kind of stuff. So that's also very good. So yeah. Body armor, you don't need anything special, you just need to stack some life, resist, and dexterity. So actually, Incursion, so Alva Temple modded chests have a percentage increase in maximum life on it. So you can just get one of those with also maximum life, at least 100 maybe. Also some resistances. If you need dexterity on your body armor, also put that. But you need to maybe get evasion based or hybrid evasion based chest, because otherwise you cannot get dexterity on that chest. So yeah, the base type should, all of your items base types can be armor, evasion, alright, or a hybrid role. Do not get energy shield. And maybe you can use some exalted orbs later on to get something. We got actually physical damage from hits taken as cold damage from Redeemer. You can also try that, or just try something. Just check that what's that, PoE database.tw website. That's your website for all the stats, affixes, obviously. And yeah, that's it. You don't even need a 6-link chest, so you can just buy these from people. Just camp for some good rolls and just use maybe those Exalted Orbs later on. That's gonna also be high budget, you know, thing that you need to do later on. That's to min-max the build. You don't do this at league start. At league start, you can also get one of these chests because those Alva drops are gonna be all over the place. Just get something with life, resist, and that third chest. Very easy actually. Gloves. Another Alva modded gloves. Fire damage against burning enemies. These are also very easy to find and way cheaper compared to shield damage gloves. That's also another Alva temple modded, incursion modded, yeah, let's say. So fire is most of the time way cheaper. So that also comes with fire resistance because that's a combined modifier actually. So you just need to put also some life and resist. Open prefix is very important because you can put it's another June unveil mode, projectiles, pierce and additional target. So you will have 2 pierce total thanks to penetrating quiver. So have a way better clear speed. If you can also you can put dexterity. So make sure you some pieces have dexterity, otherwise you need to get 30 dexterity from talent tree, which is a waste of points, but it is not the end of the world at league start. Boots. The best option is hunter based. Obviously you need to wait a couple of days to get this, but before that just use something, it doesn't really matter. But once the hunter based items on the market, just get something with ignite. You inflict deal damage faster, so your actually ignites will have a lower duration, but they will deal the same damage in that duration, something like that. So they will have more DPS. So that's a very good way to get some good DPS. We are also going to use some clusters, which I'm going to talk about later. The other stats are just regular boot stats: movement speed, resist, life. You don't even need boots enchant. If you are wondering if the penetration enchant works or not, no, it doesn't, because this is not a initial hit build. This is a dot build, so that penetration doesn't work on the boots. So you don't need any enchant at all. Just get something, maybe stun avoidance or regenerate life, attack speed, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So amulet, you have 2 options. The cheapest option is primordial chain, because we are also going to use a lot of golems to buff us. Also a cluster jewel that will also benefit from that +3 maximum, which I'm going to talk about in the talent tree section. So this is a very cheap and easy to find amulet. Make sure you also anoint it with burning brutality, which gives a lot of DPS, fire damage, overtime, those kind of stuff. Just check it. And that's it. If you want to play with this, they are also adding a new blight oil, so you can actually anoint corrupted amulet. So just corrupt these amulets, try to get maybe +1 curse, something else, maybe good stuff, malevolence aura effect, red aura effect, whatever is possible on amulets. Just get something good eventually, and maybe use that new blight oil and anoint your amulet that way. So that's a very good min-max option. Don't forget that. Those kind of implicits actually provides a lot of DPS in the end game high budget version. Alright, rings. First of all, Malachite's Artifice, you can just get this at league start. Also, it's gonna be maybe like 1 chaos because no one has even picked this from the ground. This is actually a very broken ring. I used this a couple of times in my builds in the last couple of leagues, because it gives elemental equilibrium to the socketed gems only. So elemental equilibrium is a keystone normally on the talent tree, which, so let's just read it. Enemies you hit with elemental damage temporarily get plus 25 resistances to those elements and minus 50 to other elements. So because ignite deals fire damage, we want minus 50 fire resist, so that's why we need a cold or lightning damage. Because we are using golems, we are gonna put our lightning golem in this, so that's gonna apply lightning exposure, lightning elemental equilibrium, let's say. So that's gonna be minus 50 fire and cold resistances, which is gonna be millions of DPS for us. This ring alone actually provides 7 million DPS, I believe, to my current build. Let's just check. Yep, it provides 7 million DPS. Simply broken, only a 1 chaos ring. They still haven't nerfed this. I use this a lot of times in my builds. Very interesting. Because we are using a blue gem, which is lightning golem, make sure you buy something with very high lightning resistance, so you can easily cap your lightning resist. So just try to get something close to 100, and that's it. Very easy ring, just cheap. Just buy this as soon as possible while leveling, and that's also gonna be your end game ring. So other ring, I actually don't recommend you to use this at low levels. Maybe league start, the first couple of days, let's say, because you're probably gonna need some maybe life, resist, dexterity. So a rare ring is probably gonna be better at league start, because this ring only provides a lot of, actually it also provides some DPS, yeah, that's also decent, but the most important thing about this ring is when you kill an ignited enemy, inflict an equivalent ignite on each nearby enemy. This actually boosts your clear speed a lot. This also lets you off-screen enemies and also kill legion monsters, those kind of stuff easily. So that's why Burning Arrow is one of the best bow skills these days. Combining it with this ring, you're gonna have insane map clear. Um, so yeah, that's why you can maybe buy this a couple of days later. This is also a league specific ring, but I'm not sure if they added this to the core drop pool or not. Because if you don't know, if you don't follow the news, they are actually adding some league specific uniques to the core game. So something like Headhunter is gonna be possible from the ground these days. That's why maybe this is gonna be also very cheap. We are gonna see. Finally, Belt Diadian Down. This is actually a very cheap and easy to find unique. Yeah, because this is ignites you inflict with attacks deal damage faster. This is gonna provide you a lot of DPS. Make sure you also catalyst this with the elemental one, so that's gonna be 42%. Other stats are obviously life, resist. Very good belt overall. So again, like the amulet, because this is very cheap, you can also corrupt this if you want to get maybe some good implicits. So if you don't need that strength, try to do that for some high budget option. So let's talk about the flasks. You can use a life flask at early game. Actually, in the end game, let's say while mapping, you don't need that, but make sure you have something with bleed as a league start, and also it will carry you while mapping. I am also actually using life flask while at big bosses like Sirius Maven. So make sure you have something in your stash or maybe in your inventory, because I'm gonna mention it soon. I'm actually swapping it at big bosses, maybe with Quicksilver or Cinder Swallow, depending on what boss I'm fighting. So yeah, that's why a life flask is gonna be handy in some situations, but you don't need that in maps. Once you have Cinder Swallow earn, actually once you have decent gear, so you can actually skip life flask in the end. Eternal mana flask, because we are reserving a lot of mana, we are not also actually leeching anything, so that's why mana flask is necessary. But if you maybe figured a way to get some leech, maybe some clusters if you want, maybe you can just skip that. But it is not end of the world, because we are playing Elementalist. We don't actually need much, what's that, immunities, because she is already immune to all elemental ailments. That's why flasks are very flexible. So mana flask, make sure you roll it with enduring mode, so it doesn't get end. Let's say flask effect is not removed at full mana. That's what you want. Also put curse immunity, because we are not immune to curses. Since also eternal mana flask has 5 usage, you can be perma curse immune easily. So very good place to put some curse immunity. Azri's Promise, because we are converting physical to fire thanks to our bow and burning arrow, those kind of stuff. We are actually also getting benefit from physical damage. That's why this flask provides both that physical extra and also elemental extra, because we are also dealing fire damage obviously. So that's why this flask alone provides like 4 million DPS, simply broken. Very easy flask actually, because it was from Azri. So just take it. Also chaos resist is also very nice. Chemist Quicksilver for movement speed. It doesn't have to be chemist, you can also get something with duration. Experimental, I believe. So just Quicksilver for some movement speed. Taste of Fate. Physical damage extra, cold damage, because again physical damage extra is very useful, and also physical damage from mistaken as cold damage, so a little mitigation. A good way to get both DPS and defense. So finally, Cinder Swallow Flask. So while mapping, this provides a lot of stuff. First, onslaught, attack speed, move speed. Also recover life on kill when you kill an enemy. So you will recover insane amounts of lives while mapping. That's why you can skip life flask. Finally, ignited by you during flask effect, take 10% damage. That's a more multiplier. That means a lot of DPS. So this also provides something like 2 million DPS. For craft, just take maybe regenerate, because that's cheaper. Or stun avoidance is also good if you are not stun immune. Now we are done with the equipment, and let's just take a look at the talent tree, the cluster jewels, and the gem section. So this is not final right now. You're gonna see some talent trees here, obviously the leveling trees. I'm gonna prepare those for you, so you can just level as a flame wall or burning arrow depending on what you want. Because the talent tree will be similar, and obviously you won't have cluster jewels at maybe first week or a couple of days depending on your playtime. So I will prepare you a talent tree without cluster jewels also. Let's just take a look at the cluster jewels first. Because we are playing an Elementalist, these are very popular these days, but you can actually use a fire wheel also. Maybe that's cheaper at League Start or something else. I'm just gonna also show you that in a second. So first of all, what you want. The only thing required is Primordial Bond, because this is a minion cluster. 8 points obviously. Minion deal damage, whatever. This is the only thing that works for us. Increase damage per summoned golem, because we are also using some passives items that has +3 maximum number of golems like this. You can actually gonna get benefit a lot from these per golem stuff. Also buff effect granted by our golems, because we are using a lot of golems. They both provide DPS and defensive stuff. So while buying this, there is only one thing that you need to be careful, because we don't need anything else. You don't need a 3 passive ones, but you actually need to put something. So that's gonna be here. So that's Primal Bond gonna be somewhere here. So you don't do something like this. So there are a couple of examples. One is Rotten Claws. The other one is Raise and Pillage. I believe there is one or two more. Just craft a jewel here. Minion damage. 8 points. Just put Primal Bond. Just put everything. You know, let's just also check this if it works. Let's see. Renewal. Let's just open a slot here. I already tested it. So yeah, renewal. Let's see what happened. Oh, this also works. So yeah, boom, good to go. So renewal, raise and pillage, rotten claws, maybe one more. I'm not sure. Just check it. There are lots of options. Just take something. So the thing that you don't need is actually gonna be here. So you don't actually use 2 points to get this. Otherwise, primal bond is gonna be here. So you have to do something like this, which is waste of points. All right. So this is your luck jewel. You can actually also play with something like this at League Start, but obviously minion cluster should be better because we are elementalists. You can also do something like this, Burning Bright and Vengeful Commander. This should be the combination, because that's actually how I played the last time, the other time that I played Burning Arrow, because I played Burning Arrow a couple of times in this channel. Let's see. Yeah, this is the correct one. Burning Bright, this provides a lot of DPS, as you can see. 1.2 million with my current gear, and that's it. Boom. You don't need this. You can actually take this. Let's see. This actually is good because we have rat. So yeah, this is actually a very good combination. So you can also play with this. We don't need a minion at all. Maybe this is even better. Let's just also check this. Let's do something like this. Just quick. Alright, is this right? Alright, so with this, alright, almost 80 million. Something like this. Yeah, mean jewels are better, but you don't miss that much. You know, you can just go with this also. But yeah, you need to use 2 more points. Maybe that's gonna be bad. Yeah. Just use minion ones. But you can just start playing with this if this is cheaper. I'm not sure. Just check the market. All right. Let's just undo this. All right, this is good now. So these are your large clusters. So let's talk about the medium ones. There are actually like 4 different passives and notables that you can get. So you just need to do some combinations. All right. So first of all, you want fire damage over time multiplier bases, obviously 4 or 5 points. Do not get 6, they are not good, because you are gonna spend extra points, which is not ideal, obviously. So the best stats are cooked alive and blowback. But depending on your gear, maybe these balance can change, but blowback most of the time is better. But sometimes you don't need cooked alive that much. So you can just craft some jewels here and try and test, but just try to get a lot of blowbacks. 1 or 2 cooked alive is most of the time enough, because we are also doing a lot of penetration thanks to using Wave of Conviction, Combustion Support, Elemental Golem, Elemental Equilibrium, -50. So yeah, you don't maybe need that much penetration. That's why you can maybe skip cooked alives. But these are obviously very good ways to get some good DPS. Let's also check this. These are actually very similar right now, but your balance may change. So just check. But so yeah, your stats are blowback with something. Cooked alive. Wasting affliction is something that is a little worse than. Let's see. It should be a blowback. Yes, blowback is a little better. You can also do wasting affliction. And finally, I already showed that at large jewel, burning bright. This also is very good. Let's see, boom, 1.1 million DPS. So just try to focus on blowbacks, a couple of cooked alives maybe, and then burning bright, wasting affliction. Alright, just do some combinations depending on your budget, or if you want a min max, just put those jewels on your character and just see what is the best. So these are your medium jewels. Let's talk about the rest of the jewels. So Watcher's Eye, once you have the money, I'm gonna list a lot of stuff on the screen. This is obviously the end game version, but there are lots of options. Since this is also a Watcher's Eye, you obviously need some investment. So this is not something that you need to buy at week 1 maybe, but you're gonna min max the build eventually, because this build is so much fun and can do every content. So physical damage has extra lightning while affected by red. That is one of the best stuff. Malevolence damage over time multiplier, or Malevolence lets you, damaging ailments, you deal damage faster. That's also very good. Maybe red lightning damage, but I'm not really sure. So just check the path of building also, because these kind of stuff sometimes change depending on your gear. So I'm gonna just list some of the good stuff on the screen. If you have the budget, try to get a double one. If you don't have the budget, just get a normal one. You don't miss that much. This build has overkill DPS. You just one-shot everything anyways once you have decent gear. If you have some good searching eye jewels, because we can deal ignite thanks to all kind of damages, you can just get something like this: fire damage attacks, lightning damage attacks, ball attacks, cold damage attacks. Just try to get a lot of DPS from a searching eye jewel, that can provide you a lot of DPS. And don't forget that life, that's also very important. What else? Again, another high budget thing, something that you should buy later. Transcendent Mind. You can actually craft this with a Vial of Transcendence by using Tempered Mind, I believe the name, the smaller version of this jewel. And you need a level 3 sacrifice room in Alva's temple. You can also do that. So this gives 3% damage or time multiplier per 10 intelligence on unallocated. So that means that this intelligence here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, I believe it should be something like 80, but I'm not sure. So yeah, you're gonna get more than 20 damage multiplier, which is actually better than a Watcher's Eye. So yeah, this if you want to get a single Watcher's Eye with damage over time multiplier, if that is more expensive, just buy this first, because this is way better. So this eventually provides a couple of million DPS, and this is where you should put that. Again, this is the most important thing. You need to put this here, because you need those unallocated intelligence nodes. Thread of Hope. This is not super important. You can just get this a couple of days later. It doesn't really matter, because we are using 250 reservation auras. We need some mana reservation. So we are using Sovereignty. If you want to play with those earlier, just go like this. If you don't have the jewel, 3 points, not the end of the world, alright. But if you want to get this Sovereignty with Thread of Hope, obviously large, only affects passives in large ring. That's what you should buy. Sovereignty, life nodes here, and Spiritual Aid. Increase and reductions to minion damage also affects you, because we have some minion damage thanks to cluster jewels. You can actually get some decent DPS from this. So if you don't have cluster jewels, do not buy this maybe, alright, because you also don't need this that much. Just go like this, get the Sovereignty maybe, and get these life nodes later. So yeah, this is not super urgent, you can just get this later. And a couple of jewels left. Primordial Eminence, so more Golem stuff, effect of buffs. This actually provides some decent DPS, also defense, thanks to our Stone Golem, Chaos Golem, those kind of stuff. Since people are also corrupting these all the times, maybe you can get the corrupt blood immunity, or maybe other. This is not working, by the way. This is wrong. Those kind of penetrations doesn't work because this is a dot build. So maybe you just get corrupt blood immunity, maybe mana reservation, silence immunity. I'm not sure. Maim immunity. Just get some stuff once you have the money. So 2 of these primordial eminences. So that makes 2 primordial items plus amulet, primordial chain, and that way we have, yeah. So let's just show that. Anima stone plus 1 golems plus 1 another golem limit if you have 3 primordial items. So that's also gonna work thanks to those jewels and amulet. So you're gonna also have 1 additional golem. And finally, Mantra of Flames. Because we have a lot of golems, they are actually buffs. Also, we have Malevolence and Red Aura, they are also buffs. So that means that this is gonna get multiplied by something, I'm not sure. So that's why this gives a lot of DPS. So this is not something that people actually use. It's like one alchemy most of the times. Probably people with Aura bot, you know, in party plays, they probably those kind of people are using this. So that's why maybe the corrupted versions are expensive or not. I actually haven't checked. So maybe you can also get some good corruption on those, this jewel. So check that. This actually provides a lot of DPS. As you can see, more than 2 million DPS. Before gems, because the golems are obviously in there, let's talk about the golem limit, those kind of stuff. So we are actually using a lot of golems. Flame golem, lightning, stone, chaos, ice. But since our limit is more than, what's this, 3, 4, 5, alright. We actually have something like, maybe, I'm not really sure, 8 limit, maybe 9, I'm not really sure. I haven't calculated it, you know. There are lots of golems. So you need to cast summon some of the golems more than once. So does it matter? Actually not, because you cannot stack those effects, you know. Let's just give an example. This golem grants you 9% increased attack and cast speed if you summon 2 lightning golems. That's not gonna be 18%. That is not happening. So yeah, actually these cannot stack. But why do you want more than 5 golems? Why do we need these amulet, those kind of stuff? Because we have this primordial bond, 10% damage per summon golem. So more golems with more 10% damage, increased 10% actually. And also I believe we have something here. Yes, 25 increased damage per summoned golem. So 25, 10 here, 35, 10 here, 45. 45 times 8, 9, whatever your golem is, boom, more, a lot of DPS, alright? So that's why just summon some extra golems, they don't really matter that much. But lightning golem is actually good because more lightning golems means they can maybe easily attack the boss. So they can apply that elemental accumulator minus 50 resistance, so you can start your big DPS early on. So maybe you can just summon a couple of lightning golems and 1 of the other stuff. So just do something, that's my recommendation. So other gems we already mentioned. Golems, obviously these are all give some decent buffs. So while leveling, because your golem limit won't be 5 or even more, whatever, just skip flame golem. Once you have the Malachite's artifice, whatever ring, make sure you have a lightning golem ready. You also want Ice Golem if you are playing Burning Arrow early on, because that provides a lot of accuracy, you need that. And after that, Chaos Golem, Stone Golem, those kind of stuff. Finally, Flame Golem, alright? Burning Arrow, because these gems also have awakened ones, eventually you want to buy these. While mapping, this is your setup, don't use Swift Affliction. Make sure this is on your in your inventory, or maybe on your second weapon slot. Because our Burning Arrow is on weapon, so you can easily swap. So we don't use any auras on our weapon, obviously. So you won't have any downsides for weapon swap. So you can also have that Swift Affliction on your second weapon slot. At big bosses, these are not map bosses. Something like Guardian maybe, Shaper. Elder, Uber Elder, whatever. So big bosses, alright? Just weapon swap, bam bam, and go and kill the boss. That's it. Buffs, Wrath, and Malevolence. Without Enlighten and maybe Sovereignty, those kind of stuff, you cannot actually use both of these. So just start with Malevolence. Once you have maybe Sovereignty or maybe some Enlighten going on. I don't even have 4, you don't need that. But you can use that, that's also fine, alright? I also put Wrath to get some DPS. That's actually not some, this provides a lot of DPS, simply broken. I actually broke something, yeah, something like this. So yeah, look at this, what the, a lot of DPS. So try to get that Enlighten at least 2 levels maybe. Also get this for more reservation, so you can just start using also Wrath as soon as possible. Dash mobility skill with second wind, so more cooldown and cooldown recovery. Only level 1 precision for some hit chance. You can maybe level this a little more. Yeah, actually 2 level is better, but I'm not sure if I have enough mana. So you need to figure that on your own if you want to level that precision or not. Other stuff. You don't need Blood Rage actually. This is for mapping a little faster, and also it provides frenzy charges while mapping, which you don't actually need that DPS in the end game because you're gonna just one shot everything. So you can just skip this because this also has a debuff that is a degeneration actually, so you will lose some life. So you can actually skip this. Portal, if you don't want portal jump, this is actually a quality of life stuff, you know, you can actually skip most of these right now. And Steel Skin as a guard skill, this is on my left mouse button, so you will get that absorb without doing anything, just move your character and you will have that. And Animalist, so 10% increased amount of damage taken. You can just get this later for some extra absorption. And finally, what's this? Flammability. So the main thing about this is Wave of Conviction. This actually got nerfed. The Path of Building haven't got any nerf yet. So this DPS is gonna be a little lower, maybe like 23, 24 million. So that's the only nerf that this build got actually, because they haven't actually. Let's check again. They haven't updated the Path of Building yet. I think it's not gonna find anything. So yeah, the DPS is gonna be maybe like 1 million lower once you check this build. So Wave of Conviction for that exposure is gonna be 15% elemental damage resistance, not 25, alright? Plus Hex Touch, so you can apply a curse, which is flammability, another 44 minus resist. And finally Combustion, another resist penetration, minus 19. You can also get 21, actually this works. I actually forgot this. You can also do something like this. You don't even need quality. Yeah. So your Wave of Conviction alone will apply more than 70%, I believe, penetration, which is simply broken. Just cast this only once at a big boss, then bam bam bam. Use your burning arrows. If you have wall burning arrows, also use those. And the boss is gonna be dead in a couple of seconds. So the boss killing potential of this build is really high. This is one of the best mappers plus boss killers in the game right now. Simply broken, still no nerfs. Grand Gear Games, what the fuck are you doing? And finally, Pantheons. Lunaries, you should actually use this. This is like a must because we are playing with Golems. Because the bottom line, avoid projectiles that have chain. You need that. If you don't get this, you're gonna die in chain maps, you know. Because monsters projectiles chain like 2 or 3 times, which is gonna, you know, hit you eventually. Because your golems are gonna get hit by everything, and once they chain to you, you will just die. So that's something stupid. So you need to get this as soon as possible to get that upgrade. So Lunaris is your best bet, especially on maps, obviously. For miner, if you want to be immune to burning ground, just take Aberrant. If you want to be immune to blind and mayhem, which is actually very good, you can get Ralakesh. If you know anything else, just go for it. It doesn't really matter, but Lunaris is very, very, very important. And that's it, I believe. Let me just check one more time. No. So yeah, thanks for watching, and the guides obviously gonna keep coming. If you just discovered me, I do lots of build guides, lots of end game guides, medium budget guides, high budget guides. I most of the time do maybe like 2, maybe 3 league starters. I'm not doing much league starter builds, but also I'm gonna have a video for league starter recommendations, so there are gonna be more builds, and most of them are already in my channel. I'm gonna update everything once Path of Building gets updated, so I'm just waiting for that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and join my Discord so you don't miss any news. So one important thing, last thing about my Discord channel, I actually share some item search results from the trade site, while playing the league, obviously not right now. So you can just buy some stuff, some maybe non-meta items, because most of the stuff are getting expensive after I put the video. I actually just annihilated all the cluster jewel market the last time I make the cyclone build. So if you don't want to get some stuff more expensive, make sure you are in my Discord, so buy those items maybe one day earlier before I even put the video. So that's very important, because my channel is getting grower. I'm sure that it's gonna even grow bigger, because I'm confident in myself. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will see you later.